evening, everybody, and welcome to Everything Vaguely Paranormal. I'm Shelley Pruitt, and my partners in the paranormal, Mr. Blake Smith and Mr. Ryan Roberts. Good evening, gentlemen.
What's
Good
happening?
evening.
Oh, it's been a week, hasn't it? It's springtime in Texas. It's Tornado Tuesday, just as always. And so, yeah, everybody's been having a little bit of a rough day, but we're here. Powers on, which is
It
always
was only
good.
like 75-mile-an-hour winds earlier
Yeah.
today. That's it. Power's on. That's all I'm
Oh,
happy about.
No,
please, you're fine.
couple of frog stranglers rolled up earlier today too. So we're fucking eye deep in water. So.
Translation: It rained.
Mm-hmm.
gotta translate the cornbread out of Ryan.
Yeah.
Hey, we're in Texas. They know what we're talking about. Well, maybe not everybody else.
No,
But...
no, my friend. That's North Carolinian that you're speaking.
Yeah.
Not Texan.
Oh, so correctly. There we go. But anyway, how are you guys doing?
I'm not even talking anymore.
Don't you just love whenever he just tries to land a joke and it just does
misses.
Kind of like y'all.
Well, before this gentleman who's our guest tonight decides he doesn't want to come on with us, we better tell you guys, we have got our good friend back tonight. We absolutely adore this man. He's got some news that he has going on that he wants to share. He's got a couple of new projects in the works that you guys need to be watching for on TikTok and on YouTube. And so we want to bring on from the SVC Explorers of the Unknown, Mr. Jack Vaisey. Jack.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, how are you? So nice to see you again. You have
Good to
so
see
much
you.
big news.
Oh, a lot. There's just been a lot going on working with the show and new daughter, Sage.
Yes, baby Sage, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
She is a cutie.
She is. She's adorable.
I think the last time you were on, she had like 4 weeks until she was here, and then she went overdue, correct?
Yes, yeah, just about like a week after, and she was like, "Okay, it's time. Like it's ready to go."
Well, congratulations. We've seen her picture
Thank
on
you.
your Facebook page, and she is beautiful. So,
Yes.
so you need to tell us now, what is this new thing that you have got going on? And I believe you were telling us a little bit that it was like new audio books that you're doing.
Yeah, ever since I was a kid, I used to, just write these books, not the best, but I would come up with these cool ideas of different stories, and I decided to use the power of AI to kind of help me along with the ideas that I get for these stories. And I started to make these short audiobooks called Explorers Tales. Um, the new one we just put out, the first one, is called Howl. It's about a couple college students that go out looking for Dogman. So basically, the stories are going to be around, people that are do what we do, go out and do investigations of things of the unknown, and the twist is they really run into stuff. Like it's what would happen if we actually officially ran into these things. And I know that
Oh,
some
cool.
people have had these situations happen, but I mean, it's kind of like a mix of the horror stories that you'd read as a kid, like Goosebumps and Are You Afraid of the Dark, things like that,
Hmm.
mixed with our stuff. So,
Now, do you start with an actual case and then just move on from there and be more creative with the actual case file, or does this
yeah.
come straight from your mind?
There are some that are coming from case files, and then there are some that are coming from straight from my mind. Howl was just straight from my mind, actually.
Nice.
Because I put the whole area that we're from into it, and they're only about a 4 to 5 minute little story, but it's definitely pretty good, and I've had a lot of good feedback. We put them on this morning at like 9 a.m., and it's already over 1,500 listens, like just on TikTok, and people are saying they really loved how it came out. So.
And you
Nice.
did send me that link. Is it okay if we put if I share that link to it?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So I will put that link up on my Facebook page when this is all done.
We'll make
So
sure it
if
gets on the EVP's page as well.
Yep, EVP's page as
Awesome.
well, because I wanted to listen to it, but again, it's Tornado Tuesday in Texas. So my apologies. I was more concerned about power. So I am
We're
going to
starting
go
to get
and
like
listen
that
to
up in New York with the tornadoes.
Yeah, I saw
It's
New York had a
crazy.
tornado warning the
Hmm.
other day, or tornado
It's
watch.
crazy.
Yeah, I actually had to call John because John was down in Syracuse and he had a tornado that wasn't too far from his house. And I mean, I don't know, the weather patterns up here are just changing, but I guess it's because of these earthquakes. Every time we have an earthquake, the
Yeah.
Earth's axis comes off by just like a little bit. We're in a whole new climate up here in upstate New York, so it's really
Well,
weird.
have you found since you kind of like the climate's kind of switched up that direction, have things become more active in your neck of the woods?
Things have becoming like a lot more active. There's a lot more people that are coming out and talking about it because it's becoming so regular. We have a lot of people talking about howls and shadow people seeing lights in the woods. But the cryptids have been really active too, which really
Hmm.
makes me kind of like scratch my head and like, why are they becoming more active as well?
Mm-hmm. I mean,
Which cryptids? I'm concerned.
The cryptids that have become more active up here are actually the Dogman and Sasquatch.
okay.
Those are the two top twos that have definitely become more active. A lot more people coming out and talking to me about them. People are starting to recognize, our show because we have our logo right on the side of my vehicle. People will just come up and start telling me stories. I've had retired police officers, I've had correctional officers, people with,
Hmm.
good, good stable
Good,
foundations to
good
the story.
standings. Yeah,
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well.
that are telling me these things. And actually, it's kind of funny. We actually started putting up posters around our local area to, different businesses putting up posters for YouTube and stuff like that. And as we were down at this one restaurant, this kid that was working there told me about how his brother and his friends were riding through this place called Brazier State Forest, so which literally is in my backyard.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and him and his friends got separated, and he heard something start calling to him. And he said it sounded just like his friends, and he thought it was them, and he started riding his bike into the woods deeper, and then he started hearing his friends from behind him and realized that something was mimicking his friends' voices calling him into the woods.
Oh
So he
no.
turned around, went back the other way, and actually got to them. Um, and that's kind of where we've been investigating lately with the Mohawk mediums that are out of Hogansburg, New York. We've been working with them because they know a lot of the folk tales and the stories that go back a lot of generations.
Yeah.
We
Mm-hmm.
just had an episode out with Aaron Terrence, and he's absolutely awesome. Really good at telling a story, and he's he's very knowledgeable when it comes to that stuff. And him and his brother Chris have helped us out with so many things. And Gahandawaks and Leanne and Shay are just absolutely amazing people.
So
Um,
you kind of jumped over this. Is this one of your mini episodes that you're putting out,
yeah.
or is this okay? Tell them a little bit about that, where they can find those, because that's one that I'm very interested. I like to go and watch those. I love your little mini episodes that go out. So tell them a little bit about that.
So those are on our YouTube as well. The reason I call them mini episodes is because they're not Evan B. Stone episodes. They aren't like TV quality. They're social media quality.
Gotcha.
So we just wanted to start bringing out more and more stuff. And so I've been taking over the reins with editing that and going out with John and shooting that. And then when Evan comes up, we're gonna actually have him kind of help us out with the mini episodes, like here and there. But yeah, I mean, I've watched Evan edit and I've seen some of the work that he does. And I mean, to do a 15, 20-minute episode is like 60, 70 hours of work. It's
Mhm.
it's incredible. And for me, it's like an afternoon of work, and it's like, okay, this is good enough. This is good enough. And so it's a lot of different kind of editing. So the mini episodes are on our YouTube. There's a whole playlist where you guys can go and watch. I think we already have like 9 or 10 of them up. And
You're
this
like,
last one was really good.
I was gonna say, you're like me. We're not shooting for broadcasting here. We're shooting for school project. That's what we're doing.
I'm hoping a little bit above
a little bit
Yeah,
better.
a little
Gotcha.
bit, and I think it's quality, quantity.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Yeah,
And for anybody who doesn't know, whenever he says Evan Stone, Evan is the cameraman for Josh Gates on Expedition Unknown. So
yeah.
Jack works with Evan to put the really, as Jack puts it, not the fancier episodes. Those are his. That's just him, right? And the fancy ones are where Evan gets in there and works his magic, doing all that camera
Yeah.
work and
Mhm.
and the editing. And I did watch. I know that Evan had on YouTube some different ways to take pictures and take shots to enhance the video quality when we do it. I want to watch some of those. I got to tell you, I've taken some pretty good pictures since then.
He does give a lot of good tips and pointers. I mean, honestly, the one big thing is he always says is always be rolling. And there are times where me and John are out filming these mini episodes, and we'll just get talking, and John will look at me and go, "That was really good dialogue," and I was like, "Yeah, we should have been recording." If Evan was here, he'd be like smacking us in the back of the head. So now it's got to the point where we're like, start recording, because this is really, really good. So yeah, no, he's definitely helped my video editing and the way that I film. because I didn't realize how much stuff just slips by.
Well, Shelly was super excited whenever she got the tips for her picture. She's in an uptick on her Tinder profile, quite big with those. So.
I don't have a Tinder profile, please. I don't even know which one that is. Is that the one that
Get
I
it right,
would?
Blake. That's what she's on.
Yeah,
Which one
she's
am I
always-
supposed to be on?
Grinder. You need to be on Grinder.
I need to be on Grinder. I don't know which one is which.
That would be an interesting.
Hey, I've been to college, Jack. Shut up.
I kind of
We're just gonna make a Ghost Hunters only. Ghost Hunters only.
There you go. There you go. That's
you
it.
don't ever have to be lonely with GhostHuntersOnly.com.
Jack, I think you
Whoa.
have $1 million
Ryan's got your
idea.
slogan already.
Ryan, you need to copyright this right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Copyright 2025 EDP.
Yep.
I,
The only
you know
problem
what,
is
Ghost
Snapchat
Hunters-
took the little ghost emoji, so we can't use that. You know?
Yeah, right.
We'll come up
I
with
would
something
get on
new.
a Ghost Hunters dating site. I would, because it's like at least we have a similar interest.
That's
So-
true. That's true. Some type of spooky something or another. I mean, like.
Hell, I'd scare them just with my profile picture, just for fun.
Yeah, mine would just be.
Too late. It's already been taken in the comments. Mr. Wandell said he's buying that .com right now.
Damn it,
Okay,
Chad.
thank you, Chad Lundell. I'll sign up as your first
Smart
official
man.
client.
So Jack, I kind of want to rewind a little bit. You were talking about how you're driving your vehicle around town and people are coming up and telling you stories. You said a correctional officer came up. What the hell is Bigfoot doing at the prison?
Well, you see, it wasn't at the prison. That would be great if it was, though. There probably
right.
is guys that can pass as a Bigfoot there. I guarantee it. Especially in New York. No, a couple of correction officers actually told us, and this was in one of our episodes, that they were out hunting on the Wilson Hill Wildlife Refuge, and they were using thermal scopes, and they said they came across something eating bullfrogs, picking it out of the water and ripping the heads off, and it was bipedal, and they said it was huge. They have not gone back since. They will not go back.
Ah,
They said that it's definitely sketched them out from that area.
Holy
ripping the
crap.
heads off bullfrogs. Yeah, you go ahead and enjoy your dinner.
It's
I'm
like
going to be
chicken.
over here. I don't know about that.
Slimy chicken.
So, tell us more. Now, I believe that Blake has got a clip of one of your mini episodes. Can you kind of give us the setup on this? Because this is, you're working with the Mohawk mediums that are in the area. And tell us a little bit more about them before we play this clip and kind of set this up, because this is something that I haven't seen all of it. So I've just seen a little bit. So I'm excited to see the rest of it.
Yeah, so this is Aaron from the team. He is he's actually the medium and the sensitive on the team. The Mohawk Mediums are a group out of Hogansburg, New York, in upstate New York. They've been on shows like Ghost Hunter and Ghost Nation. They work with Jason Hawes very, very closely. Great people. Honestly, some of the best investigators I've ever worked with. And we asked them to come onto the episode to kind of explain some of the lore from the area. And Aaron came in, and I mean, it was one shot, delivered it, and he ends up sharing a really amazing story about his grandmother in this clip. About a shapeshifter. So if you want to play that, we could do that.
Yeah, no, go ahead and play.
Yes, please.
All right, here we go.
Back when I was told about shapeshifters, they're really witches. They're people, but when skinwalkers aren't, they're a being that the Creator put there. But shapeshifters are people. In order for them to become that shapeshifter, they have to do a great evil to one of their loved ones, kill their loved one, and then that gives them a lot of power. It's very rare these days that we have that. I've seen a shapeshifter. My grandmother seen a shapeshifter when she was little. And what they'll do is they like to look in people's windows, and especially at night. That's why we say close your curtains at night, because those things can see in there, and they can get in your house. And so my grandmother was a little girl. She was upstairs in her bedroom, and she said she was playing. And then she looked over at her window, and there was a cow looking in her window on the second story. So she ran downstairs. She told her grandfather that there's a cow in the upstairs window. So he ran out, and he seen the cow running up the road. And so he yelled in Indian, you know, there's a witch. There's a witch. So the men that were around in the garden, and there they all started beating up the cow with sticks until they got tired and it ran off. So the next morning in St. Register village, wasn't there a lady that they found naked and she was bruised from head to toe? So they knew she was a witch. So once they found out that that lady was a witch, her power was gone. So she couldn't be a shapeshifter anymore. So once they know who you are, you can take their power away. That's why you're never supposed to be afraid of that kind of stuff. You're supposed to say, what are you? Why are you here? And have that power from inside your own medicine to push that away, to protect yourself. Because all they're doing is trying to get that energy from you and hurt you. And,
So the fear.
yeah, they'll eat that.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Holy crap, dude.
I am completely chilled up.
Mhm.
Like I said, Aaron's good
Wow.
at telling stories, and you know, where we're doing that whole recording is around a campfire in British State Forest where there has been sightings of shapeshifters. And just about a week before that, we were there and we had a coyote actually walk into camp, a solo coyote, which is very unusual. Usually they travel in packs and they definitely don't usually come around humans. Coyotes are kind of just, they keep to themselves. But this one started to walk around the perimeter of the camp, kind of looking in. And then the second night, we had an owl fly in and sit right
Hmm.
above camp as well. And we thought it was kind of weird. As we were driving the next day, we came across clothing in the middle of the road. It was just laying there, just like torn off and just laying on the ground. And we found a backpack hanging from one of the trees. And it was really, really weird because when we went to look at the piece of clothing, and it was a pair of underwear, um, it had coyote fur on it, which
What?
was, yeah, it really made me go,
Weird.
wait a second, this does not make any sense. And so the second day, we started driving down the road in the middle of the night. And after we had seen the owl, we're driving towards the clothing, and there's a coyote standing literally in the middle of the road, solo by itself. And it walks across, goes into the woods. And I sped up towards it, and I got my flashlight out. I'm ready to look at this thing. It's gone. Nowhere to be seen. Now, these woods
Hmm.
aren't thick. I know with coyotes and a lot of wildlife, they can disappear in 5, 10 feet of forest. It's pretty
Right.
easy. But this forest had the trees that were extremely separated. So the area that I was looking for, I should have been able to see this thing, at least an eye shine. Because I had the spotlight on top of the Jeep, like spreading over the whole vehicle, the whole area over there, and then my headlamp and nothing. It was just gone.
Wow. In that tradition, in that lore, do they have to wear the pelt of whatever it is that they're trying to
I
portray,
think
or can they just shift into whatever they want?
I believe they can shift into whatever they want. To start, I'm not an expert on this. They are actually teaching me a
Hmm.
lot of stuff. Because like skinwalkers are more out west. Up here we
Hmm.
have shapeshifters, and they kind of taught me that because I had so many people coming up to me going, "Hey, I know there's a skinwalker out here. There's a Wendigo out here, or there's this." And the fact of the matter is, like a lot of that stuff with the skinwalker and Wendigo is out west, but we have shapeshifters and this dog man that's up here. Um, so I
Yeah, we just
think
got
if
confirmation in the comments that that's skinwalkers that have to wear the pelts or something of that animal.
okay,
So is
that
that
might be.
the delineation? Is that's what is the differentiation between the skinwalker and the shapeshifter?
Yes. Yeah. So that's Gahonda Walks Perkins. She's the camera person and one of the investigators for the Mohawk mediums.
Okay,
She
Thank
actually
you.
comes along with us, and she's really knowledgeable as well. So we're
cool.
going to be shooting an
Awesome.
episode with her and the girls. We're going to have like girl power on the next
Cool.
episode.
Awesome. Well, thanks for clarifying that. It's a subject. Well, skinwalkers and shapeshifters are subjects that have fascinated me. I've never.
Me too.
Mhm,
As
same.
I tell a lot about a lot of the topics, I know just enough to get me in trouble, and that's why I don't stay too much on certain topics like that. So I'm glad she was able to clarify for us. So thank you.
So this whole
Yes,
thing that
absolutely.
he was talking about, and tell me his name again, please.
Aaron, and his last name is Terrence.
Okay, Aaron, that Aaron was talking about on camera. Okay, first of all, the setup is perfect. You have the creepy campfire crackling in the background, the low lights. He's obviously telling a very spooky tale. I love that. But what unnerved me in that story wasn't necessarily that they chased the cow and they found the battered woman, was that they like to look in windows. That
Yeah.
actually
Mm-hmm.
terrifies me. I know someone that actually has something that likes to come and look into his mother's windows. And I kept telling him, you need to keep those curtains closed. Just keep the curtains closed. I have no idea why I was telling him that, but I was. And when I was little, I was on a second story as well, out in deep East Texas in the woods. And I was in the bed, and there was this little portal, kind of window, and I was looking out, and there was a little girl standing outside the window. And I told my grandmother, I'm like, can I go outside and play with that little girl? And she's like, what little girl? I'm like, the little girl that's standing at the window. She goes, she lives up at the window of the second floor. And I'm going, but she's right there. I could see her. So
Why
now
can I
I'm
only hear
completely
that meme?
creeped
Can I
out.
pet that dog?
Can I pet
Yeah.
that dog? I will pet that dog.
Hello.
Yeah. Yeah. And then when my grandmother looked out, she didn't see anybody. But then when I looked out again, she was actually down standing at the edge of the woods.
Oh hell,
And so,
Mm-mm.
yeah. Yeah. So I'm completely creeped out now. Um,
No.
and by the way, if you hear somebody call your name in the woods, the hell with them. Leave them there. You don't go
Ooh.
in. Don't do
Well,
that.
and
Don't
that I
answer.
mean that's just creepy enough in and of itself when you're on an investigation, because we've had that happen where Ryan was called to the basement. Shelly, quote unquote, was calling Ryan to the basement, and right as he started to head down that way, Shelly from the same floor was like, "Where are you going?" And he's like,
Yeah, that was fun.
So, but for woods, hell no.
Hell
I'm not
no.
gonna go. I'll be like, I'm gonna wait right here at the road for y'all. Y'all take your time, get what you need.
Yeah,
I'll
I'm
be
an
here.
inside cat. Screw those woods.
See, I actually prefer the woods over being inside of a building, just because you're more confined in there. I've been invited to go to
Safer.
some
Safer.
of the
Safer is the word you're looking for, Jack.
Yeah,
Safer.
safer, safety.
So
See,
go
like
ahead.
I
I
feel
didn't
like
mean to
I would
interrupt
be
you.
the person that would be more like agitated and anxiety driven in like an insane asylum, a big hospital. I've actually not been able to do one yet.
Oh,
I've had plans to go to Waverly Hills Sanatorium, and
do
that
it.
my tires ended up going flat, and I wasn't able to make it. But I do plan on going. Now I've done some like outskirts of hospitals and stuff like that, and asylums and stuff like that, things that you can't go inside. But yeah, I haven't done them inside yet, and I'm looking forward to it because I'm the wood kind of guy. I like being out in the woods.
You're braver than me, man. Because anything can come at you from any direction out there.
Exactly.
Screw that. Have fun.
That's why you always have something to protect yourself, unless it's something that you can't protect yourself from.
But see, well, that's what I find it interesting. I just wonder if, my entire childhood, I remember I was raised by my grandparents, so an older generation above my parents. I was always told keep the blinds and the curtains closed,
Mhm.
and it makes me wonder because, like, I know my great grandfather, his mother was 3/4 Indian, and his grandmother was full blood, and so I'm wondering if that's where that came from.
Probably passed down from generation. Yeah.
That's so interesting. I don't know. That's
So,
well.
so from Aaron, what would you say in through working with him? What has been the thing that surprised you the most learning from him?
I'd have to say how much of the lore that I grew up learning about up here isn't factual to the lore that actually happens.
Oh,
It's weird when you hear a story from one person and then you hear from another person, the lore can change. And that's something we've talked about. A lot of the stories they can change, either if it's a different tribe, a different nation with the same creature could have a different name, could have a different lore that it came from. So hearing his version compared to the versions that I've heard, that's one thing that's made it very interesting to me because of the similarities, but also the differences.
okay. All
He's
right.
taught me a lot.
I was going to say because that differentiation, I never knew that there was a difference between a skinwalker and a shapeshifter. I thought that that was an interchangeable word, but apparently it is not.
Very different. I think what he'd explained was that the skinwalker was a person that had to, kill somebody they loved, that they were close to become that. A shapeshifter is just something was born with that ability.
And is basically a witch of
Yep,
some form.
Hmm.
yep. And they feed off fear. Which it's funny that he mentions that because one of my first haunting that I ever had when I was 8 years old was a shadow person. But what I was told by the Catholic Church, because I worked with some of the Catholic Church up here, um, is that they believed that they fed off fear. So I mean, I guess it kind of falls under that whole negativity thing.
So is the shapeshifter lore, is that specific to people in the Native American cultures?
I think there's a lot of different stories of shapeshifters all throughout the world. So I don't think it just pertains to the indigenous people in North America, but I think um there are a lot of similarities with all the stories. That's what fascinates me about this stuff the most is, people that didn't have communication with one another that
Mhm.
have these similar stories, and
Hmm.
it's like there's got to be something to it. It can't just be a folk story that you hear around a campfire. There's something more to it.
Yeah,
Got it.
that's whenever I'm researching, a cryptid, which I don't do very often for the podcast, but that's this guy sitting next to me. Ryan is our cryptid king. That's what or ghost stories or hauntings of some sorts. When they start these through lines through different traditions, continents, peoples, things like that. That's where it gets really fascinating because it's like, how are these individuals who have different customs, traditions, way of life have these exact same stories in all of their cultures?
With no visible
It's
way of
Right.
communicating with each
right,
other.
exactly, with no
Yeah.
visible way. Yeah, that's where it gets really fascinating for me.
Well, I think
I'm
it's
like,
also
I'm
our
saying like,
brains.
there's got to be truth to this a little bit.
Yeah. I think our brains have been wired so much to this is what you have to believe in and this is what's ridiculous. And there's a line in between that where the truth really lies.
Yep.
We've all been programmed so much to go, that's impossible because I've learned that this is impossible. But the fact of the matter is we've only been told it we haven't, witnessed it. And there's people that are starting to see things. One of the celebrities in Los Angeles who just came out was Rob Lowe. Him and his family were camping and he almost got killed by a Bigfoot. He admits to it. And there's a whole interview that just came out, and there's more and more people that are coming out and saying this stuff is real. Um,
Hmm.
and I mean, even Yellowstone National Park, I believe Bigfoot is actually a protected species. My headphones just died, so hopefully I can fix this. So sorry about that.
Well, we can
That's
still hear
okay.
you. So
We can hear you.
Yeah.
We can hear
Perfect.
you.
So when did that come out? I hadn't heard that news.
I
When did
hadn't either. About Rob Lowe?
about Rob
It,
Lowe
it
and Yellowstone?
it just came out. Well, the Yellowstone is something I looked up a while ago, and I found out about that. The Rob Lowe thing just came out. I think it was like a week or two ago.
Hmm.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. It was an interview that he was doing. I think was it Jimmy Fallon? It was he was on a talk show talking about it. But yeah, no, there's a lot of people that are coming out with it that are just being like, yeah, this is what's happening.
y'all know I'll do live research on when he did this. Y'all just give me a second. Y'all keep
I was
talking.
going to say he went he went activate the randomizer and he got a Bigfoot, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It is refreshing to see that all of this stuff is starting to become mainstream and people are actually talking about it, because for so many years it was one of those hush hush things. We don't talk about these experiences, and
Hmm.
how do you know what you're dealing with, and how do you know what's actually out there unless you do communicate about it? And I love this whole disclosure movement that's happening. I love these people coming forward and telling their ghost stories, people coming forward and telling their cryptid encounters. It's out there, and
Yeah.
we have to discuss these sort of things.
It looks like he actually started talking about it about 7 years ago, and it may just be surfacing pretty big right now because I'm seeing a lot of 2017 is
Yeah.
when he came out with he encountered a Bigfoot like wood ape, as he put it, quote unquote wood ape,
Mhm.
with while he was hunting with his son. I think, yeah, with
Ozark.
his
He was
sons.
in the
Yeah,
Ozark Mountains, right?
yeah.
Mhm.
I haven't seen. Where was he? Redwood Forest is what this says.
Oh, okay, Redwood. Okay.
Yeah. Of course, I'm just scanning like the metadata through
Yeah.
Google search, so I mean there could be more in there, so don't take my word for exactly where he was.
Hey man, if it's on the internet, it's true. You know
exactly. If it's on the
Totally.
internet, it's 100% true.
There's no questioning it.
It's Rob Lowe. He's a national treasure. Yes,
Yes, Rob
believe
Lowe
him.
is the
National
Yes.
treasure, and we found it on the internet. So
That's
100%
right,
Is
so
Rob
it's
Lowe
definitely
American or is
verifiable.
he Canadian?
I don't know.
I feel like he's my. See, they have Ryan Reynolds. We'll just take Rob Lowe.
It's okay.
Reynolds. He is American. Charlottesville, Virginia is where he was born.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
See,
We'll
live
take him.
research, people, right here on the show.
He's ours. Back off, Canada.
Back off, Canada.
So, Jack, tell us some of the other stuff you got going on right now, because I know that you have more projects going on than anybody I've ever seen. I believe there's something to do with the building.
Yes, there's
Can
been
you
a lot of
disclose
stuff.
any of that yet?
I've disclosed a little bit on live. Right now we're kind of in the process to get the funding for the building, but I can kind of put out that we're building a haunted museum and a haunted attraction and an antique store that will all be in one. We're working on acquiring a building right now. It is in the works, so just FYI, it's going to take a little bit, but still going in the right direction. And we
Okay.
have haunted artifacts that are on loan that will be coming in for display. We have people like Evan B. Stone who will be flying out to do speeches. We have John Brigman who will be doing tarot card readings and Reiki and all different kinds of stuff there a couple times a month. We'll have an antique store on the other side where there will be a section for haunted items only to buy. And we have paranormal equipment from EPS, Elite Paranormal Society, that will be brought in there as well that will be for sale.
And have you given any more thought to the idea I gave you about a way to fund it where they can buy a glass pane and with their logo on it to help fund the
I
building?
think that would be really, really cool, and we have some amazing windows for that. It's finding a glass blower to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Can't you just
It's
get some
finding-
stick-ons and stick them on there? That way, if they make you
I
mad,
feel like
down
that's
you
so
come.
cheap. If you're gonna do it all the way. I don't
Shell's
wanna be
just over here just like
"Congratulations, you got a sticker on the side of our building." Thanks
Right,
for the
Shell's just
$1,000
like-
donation.
peel and stick. That's it. That's all
Yeah.
we're
But
doing.
then if I'm mad, I'm like dead.
No,
to
we're gonna
the
step our
gun.
game up. It's gonna be a scratch and sniff sticker.
Yeah, there you go. There you
Oh,
go.
man.
This is what you get for your $500 donation.
Wait a minute. Huh.
But see, Shelly, you're missing the fun part, because if they are dead to you at that point, if they're in the pain, you can just throw rocks at it. Then you could really take out some.
Then
people.
I'm
There you
going to
go.
bust a window and replace the whole
We're going to
window.
replace them anyways. Might as well throw a rock through.
Why do you
You
have
guys
to
are
be
just
so
making this way
destructive?
more complicated.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Right.
Why do you have to be so destructive? Calm that aggression down.
Just put them on, what is it? But the board, the cork board or whatever, the plastic cork board, and cut them out
Oh,
to
yeah.
size to the pane and just put them in the pane. There you go. Then you can take them down and move them around.
Problem solved. But
I
yeah,
will tell you
besides-
though, if you ever want me to come out and do a spirit dice session with any of your haunted items, absolutely,
Yes.
because I've gotten some really good with the ones that I have here. Really good communication through the spirit.
Speaking
dice.
of that,
Mhm.
show
When
them who
we-
you showed us before we got started.
Yes. Oh,
me or him?
Okay.
Him.
Okay,
Jack.
Okay.
you.
Yeah.
Also, one quick thing, I do want to extend an invitation to you guys for when we do open up. We would like you guys to investigate with SVC Explorers of the Unknown
Oh,
Yeah.
together
yeah,
Really.
dude.
at the location, and it will be live for all of our viewers, and we can do like a cross thing on YouTube as well.
Hell
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel
man.
like I just got proposed to. Yes, yes, Jack.
Yes.
So,
Oh, why you got to put her in the picture?
yeah, they asked me to show her, so that is
Give
the
us a little
haunted
story
doll.
about her.
So I run an antique business, of course, and I have a lot of times where I'll tell people, I'll put like an advertisement out and be like, did you have a garage sale and things didn't sell and you just have them and you don't want them in your garage or in storage? I was like, here's the address, drop things off. And honestly, people will drop things off all the time. I'll get totes and totes. Actually, I had one guy drop off a U-Haul full at one point.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was great stuff. There was a lot of like garbage that I had to get rid of, and you know, you get a couple things. I do storage unit auctions now as well and clean outs. So yeah, she came in one of the donations, and two other dolls did too, and those dolls are gone. They just disappeared. I don't know what happened to them.
What?
They walk out the door.
There was a trunk that they were in, and at my
Uh-huh.
Halloween party, they were sitting in the trunk. after the Halloween party, they were gone.
Hmm.
And I know none of my friends have sticky fingers. Plus they all hate dolls, so none of them took it. It was just really, really, really creepy that they were just gone. She was the only one that remained, and I brought her inside and set her under. Yeah, I ended up sending her in the corner of the spare room that's over there, and I left for the night. And I was going out to hang out with some people. And the next morning, I came in the door, and she was on this side of the house under the table with her face facing the table, and I was like, nope. So I've actually had John come over who can pick up like haunted items and read them, and he picked it up and he's like, "Oh yeah, yep." And he set her back down. I was like, "I don't like when you set things back down quickly. Like that's just not." But yeah, we've
So,
actually
what
had the
did John
radio.
say about her? Is she naughty?
I don't really know. Don't really know. He hasn't said much about her yet, which is weird because usually he gives me a pretty quick reading, but I think he's giving it some more time. When he comes up next time, I'm gonna have him do some more. But yeah, we've had the radio go off right in front of her, and it's just really, really weird.
Now, do you have something that can contain her? Like, do you have like a way where she can't get off of her stand and go anywhere? Or oh, you got that nail.
Yes.
Okay, a couple nails.
Got her
exactly-
iron bound, huh?
Uh-huh.
That's what I've done with one of mine.
Yeah, she hasn't moved since, so it's working. Those nails were actually found in the War of 1812, one of the battlegrounds.
Oh,
Really?
Yep, and
I mean, is it really smart to be doing that with
That's
her?
what I'm
with
thinking.
those kind- No, it's
A
good.
war, blood being spilled, and you
listen,
put
the
that to
soldiers
hold
are
her.
standing guard. She's not going anywhere. We're set.
Okay.
Right there. See that?
Yeah. I think it's funny because you kind of showed her to us before we jumped on, and I brought mine up, and I think it's funny we're talking about nails because when I showed mine on the camera, the nail fell off of her, and I was like, "Oh shit, let's put her down."
Y'all better be careful. They're gonna collaborate.
Yeah, don't let them get. Yeah.
But
I don't know. She intrigues. Yours intrigues me.
Yeah, I don't get any bad vibes. She wouldn't be in the house if she was. Usually
Right.
anything that I've gotten bad vibes off, I've given to John and said, hey, do what you got to do. And he usually blesses, he has the piece of the Amityville house that I owned that made me black out and everything. And has a rosary over it, and it's in a blessed box. And he just acquired, I think it was like 30 plus photos of the crime scenes of Amityville. Some of them will be on display. Some of them cannot be because of the gruesomeness and out of respect for the family. But there is some pictures that will be on display. And I think that's going to be the kind of cool thing with our museum is we're going to have rotating stuff that will come in and it will be on display for a little while where people can learn about the paranormal history and the regular history with it. Yeah, but I actually have a piece next to me that I wanted to talk to you guys about, and this is the mystery piece. Now, I got this from the TikTok shop, so I'm like, okay, it's a gag thing. It's a okay, So it's called an Aztec death whistle.
Oh shit!
Oh shit! Okay.
And when you blow through it, it sounds like 100 people screaming. I've already blown through it in the house, so I'm going to do a little. I won't do it too loud where I'm blowing everybody's eardrums out. But it sounds like
what
this.
happens whenever you do that?
So the Aztecs believe this was used for two different reasons. When they were going into battle, this would be something that they would intimidate their enemy with. If you heard this, you would probably crap your pants and or your toga or whatever you're wearing and run the other way.
My
your
loincloth.
Loincloth, not toga.
Loincloth.
Why did I say toga? It's the famous Aztec versus the Greeks battle that we never heard about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, loincloth. And the other reason that they would use this is they believed it was a way that the other side it was a bridge. The way that the screams came out, it was a bridge to the other side, so it would bring spirits in. I did not tell my mother this when I first blew the thing in the back room of her house, and when she found out, she started smacking me with a pillow and was like, "Are you kidding me?" And I was like, "Sorry, Mom."
By the way,
I'll do
Fine
a very
print.
low blow on it because this thing it's creepy, but it
They're
sounds
loud,
like this.
yeah.
it's when you go high enough, it sounds like a bunch of people screaming.
It sounded like a bunch of people screaming just then. One more
Yeah,
time.
it's like a do it like a beat or something, but
Playing Sandstorm on
little
it.
Don't be
you know,
disrespectful.
you know, spirit partying with us.
Ryan said
So-
sandstorm.
So, my smart idea was, and I know the Mohawk mediums are gonna laugh at me about this, was to prank my indigenous friends while in the dark out in the woods to blow this while we're in the
Oh,
cemetery.
Jack.
Please tell me that's caught on camera and that you were rolling.
It's the commercial for, because we sell these on our TikTok shop. You can buy them. So we got sponsored by them, and I was like, you know what, I'll do it. It'll be funny. And then, indigenous people love when you whistle in the dark.
Yeah, they hate that. Don't do that. No, that's bad.
So I did it, and of course, Chris just looks at me, and Chris is Aaron's older brother, and I mean, Chris is like, he's Bigfoot. I mean, case solved. Like, the guy's 7 foot tall, like, he's huge. He just turns and looks at me and goes, they all are just looking at me like, are you joking? And I was like, okay, we'll see if it works, because I'm thinking TikTok shop, I'm like, okay,
Right.
Whatever. That picture I sent you, Blake, in the cemetery, there's 3 photos.
Yep.
You could show the
Is
zoomed
this
out
the-
one,
Okay.
Yep. and then
All
go to
right.
the next one.
Which is a little bit deeper in. I think this
Mhm.
one, I believe.
And
What is
yep,
that? The
that
hell
cemetery
is
is supposed to
that?
have a lady in white, in a white dress,
Okay.
What?
and she's supposed to be seen by the woods in that area. And this, you can actually see like the nose. It's a
I was gonna
side
say, I
profile, the
see that,
nose,
yeah.
the
Side
eyes,
profile. Yeah.
and it's her looking out. Now the weird part is, I'm taking these pictures with no flash. This is my lens wide open, and I'd say about 30 seconds before I took this photo, Aaron grabs his wife and pulls her back, who is Shay.
Mhm.
And I go, what the hell, dude? What are you doing? And he goes, there was a woman in a white dress standing behind Shay. And his first reaction was protect my wife. So he grabs her and pulls her behind him. And then I snapped that photo, and that's what I caught.
Wow.
So
that's
note to
from
self,
this photo.
yes.
Okay.
So
Gotcha.
there.
Now, at
the
first we
next one's
thought,
the next
could that
one.
be a gravestone over on the side
Right.
with the reflection and everything? But when we looked back in that area, there was no gravestone that met that angle.
Wow.
Wow.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
So what is this story about this lady? Because now I'm intrigued that Aaron felt as if he needed to protect his wife from her. What kind of bad juju she got?
Well, I know with the town was a part of the French Indian War, Revolutionary, and I believe War of 1812. There are soldiers that are buried in that cemetery. I'm almost wondering if it's the woman that was hung for supposedly being a witch in that town. I don't know where she's buried. And that's something I'm starting to work with historians and trying to figure out. But I did find out where the town gallows were. And the people that live there have actually reached out to me and said that they want us to do an investigation. And I'm going to be continuing to talk to them. We've done investigations in that town. It's very old. It's like you're just walking back in time. And that there's a lot of small towns like that up here. So
I love towns like that.
Yeah.
You can just walk
yeah,
in.
when you
can
guys
just
come up to
feel
upstate
the
New York,
history.
you're going to love it. Have you ever been to Salem?
No.
That's
Yeah.
on all of our bucket lists.
Okay, so I've been to Salem. I'm going to give you a little bit of a spoiler.
Okay.
It is not hocus pocus. There is an old
Oh,
section of town. There is a new section of town. And then there's I'm trying to put this in the best way possible because I love Salem. Don't get me wrong. Love it and love the seafood. The seafood? Yes. But it's very commercialized.
Okay.
The tours are great. There is a lot of history, like the witch house is still there and things like that. And when going on the tour, it was great to see the historical parts. And I've actually caught a photo of what the ghost tour guy actually said was one of the witches that has been seen in the cemetery.
Oh, cool.
Actually, I got to go to Allison's house from Hocus Pocus. That's in the part of the tour. And didn't know that there were 3 sisters that actually lived in that house and died in that house. And when we were doing the tour, they had this beautiful garden out back, and it's just gorgeous, like shrubbery and flowers and everything. And I was taking pictures, and in one of the photos, I took a picture, and there was a woman standing in the window in the downstairs, and there was nobody inside. And they said it actually looked like one of the sisters.
Oh wow.
Okay, that's
No
creepy.
way.
That's pretty cool.
Not Sanderson.
That's creepy.
Just regular sisters. But yeah, no. So with this area up here, it's a lot like the older parts of Salem without the commercial, stuff that's brought around. And there are towns that don't even have a gas station, don't have a store, have nothing. There are these small hamlets that are sitting there with buildings that are from the 17 and 1800s. So there's a lot of history that's never been told up here. I mean, Caroline Bonaparte, the one that we started this whole thing on,
Mhm.
her story was known, but wasn't really like well known. And now people are starting to talk about it. And it's a story that deserves to be told. And there's so many stories like that up here that just feed off each other. So I'm really excited for the future of the show and of the stories that we get to tell.
So what you're saying is you're going to blow that death whistle everywhere you possibly can when you go out and about.
Not with the Mohawk mediums anymore, because I'm pretty sure I would be blowing the death whistle in a different way if I ever do that in front of them again.
Yeah, we just got told in the comments that patience and understanding is how they deal with you.
Yes, let me see who that was. I can tell you patience and understanding. Let me see who we're
You can't miss it. It's spelled out in all caps.
Oh yeah, it's gone to us. Yes. She is 100% correct. Patience and understanding.
Oh god, that's too funny.
But like I said, I absolutely love working with the group. They're amazing people. Funny as hell. Like you just sit there and joke with them and have a good time around a fire. And then when it gets down to like investigating, they're very, very professional and just great people to work with.
That's just got to be the way that you have to be on investigations, because I mean that I think that's what yields such great results for us as well, is because we've said it time and again on this podcast. We just go in and we like to have fun. But when it comes down to actually investigating, getting our evidence and all that stuff, we're very serious about it. But we're gonna joke and laugh and cut up. We've actually been ridiculed before by some people who have been around us, that they're just like, y'all joke too much, and we're like, this is us. But look at the evidence that we get, because we like to have fun.
You have to have fun with it. It can't be something that you can be so uptight about. And everybody is always going to have somebody that's going to say something about the way they investigate. The other thing I wanted to announce that I totally forgot to announce to you guys, we are starting a podcast with the Mohawk mediums called Summoning Spirits. Summoning Spirits is going to be interviewing a ghost hunter about their scariest tales while we sit around their paranormal bar that they have in their basement. So Summoning Spirits. Now, they have a bottle that has been aged next to the Annabelle doll. And that sits in their cabinet.
Oh, God.
Yeah. But we're actually going to be starting filming that probably soon. I know Evan said he was definitely going to be a guest. John said he was going to be a guest. I'm definitely going to be a guest, even though I'm part of it. I'm going to be helping film it and getting it brought up. I've already started working on things. But it's going to be on YouTube. We're not going to do a TikTok thing. It's going to be a YouTube episode just because, there's stipulations with TikTok that you can't really, So it's going to be for older people, people that are age appropriate for drinking. And it's going to be a fun time.
Are you all going to be sipping from that Annabelle bottle the entire time?
It's still sealed. I think I'm the first person to ever touch it without the gloves that came with it.
Oh,
God damn, Jack.
Did anything happen?
I can't say it because that would be me too.
That would be me too. I'm sorry. Way to go, Jack.
Not me.
So it was aged next to the Annabelle doll, and the other thing was the black-eyed demon doll, or the
talking about the crone?
Face.
No,
they might know in the comments.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
it's
Blake has Google.
Tony
I have
Stara
Google.
has it, I think.
Yeah, I have
too.
Google.
I have Google. The power of the internet.
Nothing. The only thing that comes up is black-eyed dolls for sale and black-eyed children.
I think it's called the black-eyed demon doll or something like that, or the white-faced doll. It's really creepy looking. It's it's one of like the top haunted dolls.
Yeah.
So it's literally aged between these two dolls, and it was weird when I didn't know about the other doll. I only knew about Annabelle, and when I was holding the bottle, I looked down and I saw a white face with deep black eyes for like a brief second in the liquor, and I'm like, well, I haven't even started drinking yet, so what the hell's going on here? And I like put the thing back in the case, and I told him about it, and Chris was like, "Wait, that thing was H next to that doll, and that's what you're describing."
Mm-mm.
After leaving there, I had some nightmares, but nothing too crazy. There wasn't like stuff flying off shelves or anything.
Right.
But the company, I reached out to them. I said they did a fantastic job with the bottle. It's in a casket. It's very very cool.
Man,
So
Tim,
these are available for purchase?
I don't know because I think it was a
Yeah.
limited run, but the Mohawk Mediums would definitely know if they're. I gotta try to remember. They know the name of the company, and I'm trying to look in the comments.
Hey, Jack, you and I, we need to share a shot out of that bottle. I'm
Wait,
down.
is it
I
called?
have a
Hold
bottle.
on, wait. Is it called the Shadow Doll?
that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, that's it. That's what I'm thinking of. I think that's the
It's
one.
a white face. It's a white. Damn, dude, this thing's creepy.
Can you bring up a picture of it?
Let me see. Crap.
I have a small bottle of liquor that I am planning on opening if a certain thing happens with our show. And it is aged 50 years. It's whiskey.
Ooh.
And that was aged 50 years in 1974.
Oh shit.
Okay.
Okay. Is it this
It's
one?
still sealed. Maybe?
Maybe. That
Oh,
was creepy as hell.
me-
I typed in white face demon doll Warren's exhibit, and this is what popped up.
Okay.
So I don't know. If
Yeah,
that's it or
Chris
not,
says yes, that's the one.
that's the one. Okay.
Harridan
Ooh.
Vodka.
Ooh.
Harridan Vodka
Harridan,
is the
okay.
company. And it was that doll, Chris said. So it was between that doll and the Annabelle doll.
Wrote it down.
Harridan Vodka. You can check it out. And the funny thing is, I actually posted something on our TikTok with me holding it. So I will send you guys the video of me holding the bottle. And this is the first time anybody's held it without gloves. But yeah, really, really interesting. And Harridan Vodka actually commented on the video and was like, "Yeah, that's awesome."
Shoot, that thing
That's
has
good.
to have an aura to it. Just
It
holding
had.
it.
You could feel
Uh-huh.
some. Yeah.
Some juju on that bottle for sure.
Oh yeah.
I'd be
there's a lot of
willing to
juju.
take a shot of it. I mean, maybe it'll run the
Have
other
fun.
demons out because I mean, the one I've got is starting to irritate me. So
Well, it doesn't matter because you put holy water with your scotch sometimes, Shelley. So it's
I
all
do.
good.
I do. I drink
You're just
holy water
gonna
with my
balance
scotch.
it out every now and then.
Neutralize it, yeah.
I
So
do.
is that your like go-to when you get done doing an investigation?
Scotch and holy water?
Scotch?
Yeah, sometimes.
I have
Sometimes.
done sage and chicken.
Oh,
That's
Okay.
dinner. That's not a drink. What do you drink?
Listen, I'm a big guy, Shelly, and I like my food. You
What's your
can't go
go-to
wrong
drink
with a-
afterwards?
My go-to drink would definitely have to be I like rum and coke, but usually I'll just do I think the last time we had was scotch, just straight.
Scotch needs a splash of holy water, makes it perfect.
Does the holy water really just bring out the taste?
It does. Makes it
No,
delicious.
it
Yeah.
doesn't. It just tones her demons down. So
That's it, just-
handle her. That's it. That's all it does. It just puts them back in their cages for a little bit, so she's tolerable after. No, just kidding.
They're so mean to me, Jack. They're so mean to me.
Listen, everybody I work with does the same thing. I'm the one that they all aim
That's
their-
all right. I'm here for it
Yeah, right.
because I always
Attention's
get my
attention,
revenge.
right?
That's it. That's all right. So, what is the next thing now? Now, Jack, we do know that you do some readings, right? You do
Yeah.
some mediumship.
Yep.
You
I'm
feel like
working right
reading
now.
any? Go ahead.
What's up? No, you're good.
I was going to say, do you feel like doing a reading on anybody tonight? Is there anybody that you're being pulled to on the screen, except for me, because I don't get read?
Oh, cop out.
Why don't you get red?
Because I want to be surprised like everybody else.
Okay. No, not really. Not tonight.
Okay,
like I
good.
said, it's usually them that come through.
Mm-hmm.
It's right now I'm working on a lot of training to help anchor myself too, because when I start opening it, it's a lot of different things that come through. And I also notice it can affect my dreams. It can affect my moods. Being an empath and a medium, it can definitely affect a lot. So it's a very fine line that I'm learning to toe. I'm actually searching for a mentor right now. I've talked to John about it, but kind of going from there. But yeah, I mean, Shelly, the only thing that I get with you is a male spirit.
Ooh, that sounds fun. Okay.
I know you said you didn't want to get read, but
Go
I keep
ahead,
on
Jack.
coming up.
But he's going to do it anyway.
Do it, Jack. She
Do
never
it.
lets
Yeah.
anybody do it. Do it.
You have permission. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. I didn't want to overstep.
You're fine. Go ahead. This is a first time, people.
This is a first time.
She never does it.
Never. Yeah. Okay.
I feel
I'm
like this is a
telling him to
grandfather.
shut up right now. I'm telling him to shut up right now, but go ahead.
Is it your grandfather?
I have no idea. You tell me.
I getting the grandfather that you were close to. He's passed on. It would have been, oh God, can't really get the year, but I'd say about 10 to 15 years ago.
He got anything to say? So I only had one grandfather I knew.
Mm-hmm.
The other one passed on long before I was born.
Mm-hmm.
And he passed away right at the turn of the century in 2000.
Okay, so that'd be 15 plus years ago,
yeah.
Honestly,
anything else?
He's just right there. That's about it. But it's hard to when you're trying to read somebody and you're trying to read a spirit that's with them, you have a defensive wall up against wanting people to read you, because there are things that happened in your life that you don't want other people knowing about.
Oh yeah, child, I got lots of secrets.
I got hold on 1 second, Jack. Are you getting anything else from that guy?
There's a message for her. I feel
sorry. I was just.
See, it's too personal to bring out in a live.
Okay, you can tell me afterwards.
Mm-hmm. It's Orville.
Well, I wanted to God, Orville. I wanted to make sure that you weren't picking up on somebody else, because I had a grandfather that I was very close to, who this would have been his 15th year since he's passed.
Okay.
So you might be getting Blake's.
That's what
the
I
thing.
was.
I get things crossed, and yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you have two very chaotic energies on the screen, and so that's.
I was extremely close with him, and it's going
What's
on
with
15
the birds?
years that he's passed.
What's with what?
The birds.
Do you have anything more specific?
Blake, I think it's with you.
It is with me. Birds. Oh shit. Go ahead.
Was it wood carving? No. Like he did birds?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, he made birds.
He didn't make birds, no.
Well, like he had collections of like these wood carved birds.
Holy shit, Jack! Nobody knows this. He wood carved birds. Yes, he did have wood carved birds in his house, but he carved bird houses for the birds outside the windows that I myself would sit in the chair and watch with him.
Yeah, he loved watching the birds. Was it something with a blue jay or cardinal? Those two were like
both of them.
Both of them were like his favorite because it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I picture this like nice bay window. It was a bigger window.
Oh my god!
And just watching these birds. Was there a bird feeder that was just like flat, that had all the seeds on it, that they would just come sit right next to the window, and you would just sit there as a kid, and I just see this tapping.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's wild.
He's trying to give you that message that like, basically he's still with you.
Oh my god, my heart's racing right now. Nobody. I haven't even told Shelly and Ryan this.
No, I know this story.
Nobody knows this.
He loved listening to the birds. It was like music for him. It was calming. He had a chair, and it was his chair. You don't sit in his chair. And he would just watch the birds sitting on the window, starting to eat the seeds. But the thing that he loved more about that was the time that he got to spend with you while watching them. He would watch you watching them, because it was like he was passing it on to the next generation of enjoying this. Is that where your love for photography kind of came from, and like nature and stuff?
No, I don't think I'd tie it to that moment, but I do have a love of photography and of nature, but I wouldn't tie it to that moment. So I don't know if that's something else that's coming through.
Okay.
Oh my God, my heart is racing. Like I'm like literally shaking. He's never come through
Yeah, no, he's still with you. No, I honestly, a lot of things I've realized with people is there's some people that don't ever really come through when you're doing readings, and then there's people that come through at the right time. So there's something going on in your life right now that he's wanting to be there for you because of that. And so he's giving me that image of that memory to show you that he's there. And you guys, did you go out in a boat? Were you like on a I'm seeing like a small boat.
Jack, I'm going to tell you something. I think that you may be having both grandfathers come through because my grandfather had a small boat named Shelley. He named after me, and he would go out on the boat. And he also raised bird dogs because he was a big hunter, hunt dove and quail. So
Okay.
whenever you said boat, I'm like, well, that
And
I told you to shut up.
I was seeing like this skiff, like it's a flat boat. It's like it's not like a rowboat. It's like it's a boat that you can stand up in.
Oh yeah, you could have stood up in it. Yeah. And it was, now if he can tell you the color, I will be way impressed. And no, it's little outboard motor, run it around. Now if he can tell you the color, I'll be beyond impressed. That's right, you can tell him the color.
It was a weird color. All I can hear is like I'm probably wrong, but the purple just came in.
Sparkly purple. You're exactly right.
I was gonna
sparkly
say
purple with
all
white
I could hear was
trim.
Jeff Foxworthy going glitter finish with the purple.
It sure was, and he named it after me. He got it the same year I was born, and it was the Shelley.
That is awesome.
A sparkly purple boat, and child, it was beautiful.
I bet it shined in the sunlight.
It did. You could spot it on the water.
Yep.
It's very interesting. They don't know that, so
nope, you've never told us that.
And the thing is, when you said the color, it was like purple, and then I heard the Jeff Foxworthy. That's why bass boats have a glitter finish.
it was. He did go bass fishing. That was what he liked. It was
a bass boat. Okay.
Yep. Trolling motor, outboard motor, everything. So yeah,
that
awesome. Was his thing. So all right, you can go home now.
Damn.
Very nice. I think it's funny that both of our grandfathers are saying something.
Ryan, the female that is with you, by the way, she's very proud of you. There's been some stuff that you've been dealing with. Did you have an aunt that passed away? Like it was either an aunt or a great aunt.
Yeah. Yes.
She was the person that you kind of like revolved yourself around. Like when they were having family get-togethers, you would go sit with her because it was better than sitting with anybody else.
Yeah. Yes. Okay.
She's still sitting with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
She watches you in the shower.
Silly.
Why am I hearing Sweet Home Alabama and see if a band?
I don't know.
That's his cornbread roots. I just had to make it creepy. It was getting a little intense.
That's interesting. Oh man. Woo. Okay.
Was it breast cancer?
I believe it was. I know she died of cancer. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm feeling it like in the chest.
Dude, I swear to God, if you can tell me her name, I'll shit.
Oh God!
It's like the purple. It just came out, but it's probably not the right name. But Mary came up.
No, not Mary, but very close.
It is with an M.
No, it's with an S.
Close to Mary with an S? What?
Yeah.
Sari?
No.
Siri.
It's pretty close.
Sherry? Sherry?
No.
Sherry? Is
No.
it Sherry?
No, it's not Sherry, but very close.
Cheryl?
No.
How about you just tell us?
Shirley.
I feel like I'm throwing darts at this point, so I don't really feel like...
No, it was Shirley.
Shirley, okay.
Yeah, her name was Shirley. Mm-hmm.
Shorter woman.
Yeah, she wasn't a very tall woman. No, not at all. Mm-hmm.
But nobody pissed her off, because like if you messed with her, she had no problem telling you how she felt.
It take her an act of Congress to get there.
What are you saying?
He's trying to point at you, but he pointed the opposite direction.
Oh, you just point at me?
Sorry.
Oh.
Yeah. No, I'm saying
okay.
if you tick Shelly off, it's kind of like you don't mess with that person. Shelly's like the alpha.
You won't forget it if you make me angry. It's hard to make me angry
But
though.
no, yeah, it was cancer that got her. I believe it was breast cancer. So yeah, and she was a really fun woman. She was a very fun lady.
Even during the time where things were dark, she brought the light to it. She didn't want to be people that mourned her. She wanted to celebrate and just live life.
Yep, absolutely, 110%.
Nice.
That's crazy. That's weird.
Are
crazy,
all of us completely in awe right now? I've never put anything out there about what you said about the boat or the color of the boat or the name of the boat or anything like that. And the fact that it's glittery purple is that's just random.
I mean, I'll tell you this, just how spot on you were for me was that yeah, I was raised by my grandparents. So my great grandparents were like my grandparents, where my grandparents were like my parents. So the fact that you said grandfather in 15 years, my great grandfather, who I was extremely, extremely close with, passed in 2011. And we are in his, basically, we're going into the 15th year of him being gone. Their house, and we had a room that we were never allowed to go into unless they were in it. And he had a chair that sat in front of a bay window, huge bay window, that he hung a bird feeder that he made, hand carved. It was one of those flat ones, as you said, filled with seeds. And he would sit there and he would watch the birds, and I would sit there with him and do that. There was a cardinal and a blue jay that would always visit that bird feeder. Not only that, but he was also into woodworking as well and carving stuff out of wood. So much that he had one of the grinding stones,
blades.
His own, the little blade thing. Yeah, you got me, man. That was you're spot on with stuff I'm going through too, and that's nice to hear
the beautiful
as well.
thing. That's the beautiful thing, is these memories. The memories you get to hold on to, even when people pass on. It's not the end of that. You get to go back and reminisce with those things. I've lost all my grandparents except for one, my grandmother, she suffers with dementia and Alzheimer's. It's amazing to go sit there with her because, like, there's some days where she doesn't know where she is, and then she'll start talking about stories from things that are going on 30 years ago. But these memories that we have, they're strong. They're in us for a reason, and it's really what drives us. As a paranormal investigator, I believe that's what drives me to do it, because I want to know that there's something after this.
Yeah.
I want to know that I'm going to see the people I love once again.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'll say, for anybody who's listening, watching, or anything, that story of that, I've never shared that ever. I've never shared that. I've never even shared that with my family. Shelly and Ryan haven't heard it. It's not posted anywhere. The house that they had, he passed in 2011 and it was sold. That was 10 years before I met Shelly and Ryan. That house isn't posted anywhere on my stuff. That story's not shared anywhere. So yeah, that was
That's a memory that holds strong in you, though. Even though you haven't thought about it in a while, it's a memory that holds strong.
Yeah, that's why I was like so shocked, because I would tap on the glass, and there was a rule at my great grandparents' house.
Don't touch the glass.
Don't touch the glass. I got in trouble so many times touching the damn glass.
He wouldn't get mad at you. Your grandmother would, because
oh
she'd
my
have to go
God,
clean the
she
freaking
would.
window.
She would yell at me. She would just be like, get off the glass. Like, and she'd have to come behind me with a rag, and he wouldn't care.
I'd one of these days you're going to go through it.
Oh my God, Jack. Okay, another story that nobody knows that she used to tell me. One of these days you're going to go through it. When I was a young boy, I stopped listening to her and her advice that, holy shit, Jack. Shelly and Ryan don't know this either, and this ain't posted anywhere either. We had a large, very, very large coffee table at my grandparents' house. And my great-grandmother used to babysit me when I was 4 or 5 years old. And she would tell me all the time, she's like, if you don't get off that coffee table, one of these days you're going to go through it. And I remember being about 5 years old and I started walking across it. She used those exact words too. I started walking across it and I heard a popping and a cracking. And I looked down and watched the crack go through my feet as I fell through the glass coffee table.
Oh no.
And sliced my legs from my feet all the way up to my knees. And my great grandmother was the first one that was there wrapping towels around my leg. And she used to tell me all the time after that, if you don't do anything, you're going to go through it. If you don't do anything, you're going to go through it. She used to tell me that. Holy shit.
Wait a minute. Now, Blake, I'm going to tag on here that you're going to go through it. If you don't stop that, you're going to go through it. I have a scar on my wrist that runs from here to here because my grandfather was outside and he said, "Come outside because we're going to go out on the boat." And I ran through the sliding glass door and went through the sliding glass door, and I have a scar that goes from here to here on my wrist from it because I was ready to go fishing.
Wow.
You didn't care about the door.
I didn't see the door. It was glass. I'm like one of those dumb birds that keeps running, flying into it. Yeah. Yes, but I have a scar on my wrist because I was opening up the door. So yeah, that's interesting, Blake. That's another little odd parallel between you and I.
And I'll tell you a weird
Crazy.
synchronicity about what you just said with my Aunt Shirley. We were talking about people having windows open at night. That's part of the reason I'm scared of the woods, is because we would go to her house and she had these big ass bay windows, and I don't know what it is about rich people and blinds, but they don't believe in them. and like it would open up to the woods, and her house was in the middle of nowhere, and I used to sit there and look at the edge of the woods and think, I do not know what's looking back out at me, but I do not like that. So it's kind of interesting that she comes through, because I was thinking about that earlier.
Yeah.
But
Crazy.
Mhm.
Crazy.
Well, I love that. So, Jack, I tell
Yeah,
you
I
what,
love getting on with
we
you
have
guys. It's so much fun.
well, we've
Yeah,
kept you past the time that we requested you
Do you want
for.
me to hang out for the show afterwards?
That's what I was going to say. Would you like to come on for post broadcast?
Absolutely.
Fantastic. So for right now, why don't you promote whatever it is that you would like to promote and tell them where they can find you and follow you?
Okay, yeah. Guys, if you want to follow us, SVC Explorers of the Unknown.com. That has our website. It has all of our social media links. We're on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Definitely check out YouTube. That's where we put out our full episodes with Evan B. Stone, who's the cinematographer for shows like Expedition Unknown, Finding Bigfoot, Ghost Nation, Ghost Hunters. We could sit here all night. And John Brickman, who is a 30-year military veteran, psychic medium, and we call him our psychic detective. It just has a nice ring to it. He's very, very precise with what he looks up, and we work along with the Mohawk Mediums. I want to say thank you to them. They have a YouTube and a TikTok and a Facebook. Definitely check them out as well. And yeah, I mean, honestly, there's always new projects coming up, and we're going to be having the Historically Haunted Museum and Echoes of the Past Antiques. We already have an eBay page, but we're going to be having a store soon.
Fantastic. And well, with that, Blake, why don't you tell them everything that they need to know about us?
Awesome. Well, we've got a few announcements we'll make. If you want to support the show directly, you can check out our Patreon page. That's going to be linked in our link tree tomorrow morning, Wednesday morning, on our Facebook and X profiles. That is just $5 a month, and you will instantly unlock over 450 exclusive videos, including the pre and post broadcast, which is the 30 minutes before and the 30 minutes after this live broadcast. We're going to have Jack on
Yay!
in the post broadcast after this one. So if you want to see the extended interview, go check out Patreon. Remember, we do offer a 7-day free trial before you join, so check it out. We want to make sure that you are connected with us. Follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and many more by searching Everything Vaguely Paranormal, looking for that green sound wave, or by clicking the icons in our link tree. And remember, for you audio listeners, you can watch us live every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook and YouTube. If you want to meet us in person, you do have a few choices. Oh, here we go. May 30th through June 1st, we will be in the DFW area for a fan expo at the K. Bailey Hutchinson Convention Center, along with Chad Wandell from Ghost Geeks. Then we are off to Chicagoland at the Countryside Banquet Conference Center in LaGrange, Illinois on June the 7th. Then we're heading to the Paranormal Rockdown at Broadhead Manor in Broadhead, Wisconsin on July 18th through the 19th. Swinging on over after that to the Gettysburg Battlefield Bash from July 25th through the 27th in Gettysburg. Then we're back off to the center of the country for KC Paracon on August 2nd in Kansas City. Then the 19-and-a-half-hour drive from my house to Vernal, Utah for Phenomicon 2025, September the 3rd through the 6th. And finally, we will be attending the Rock Island Roadhouse Esoteric Expo on October 4th in Rock Island, Illinois. We still do have some that we're waiting to confirm. So make sure you subscribe to our Eventbrite page so you're notified when public investigation tickets go on sale. We officially have posted our first one for sale, which is the Gregg County Historical Museum, which will be June 14th. So check that out and make sure you get your tickets for that because they are limited. We are grateful for your continued support. Every like, comment, share, and download keeps the adventures alive. So if you have a favorite episode, share it with your friends and make sure you tag us. And if you have a story, comment, or question, or would like to have us as guests on your podcast, you can email us at the edppod@gmail.com. That's THEEDPPOD@gmail.com.
Go like, share, and subscribe to that YouTube page. So we want to thank you guys for joining us tonight. And thank you very much, Mr. Jack Vaisey from SVC Explorers of the Unknown. Thank you for being here with us.
I appreciate you guys having me.
Absolutely. So we want to thank you guys for joining us tonight. And as always, we will see you next Tuesday. Bye-bye.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.